Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to the Wall of Power Radio Hour. This is your host, Paul Metza. Hope you're enjoying the Thanksgiving festivities and holidays, and you're in a nice warm place with some cool people, family members. Could be just you and a dog like me and Blue at home, enjoying the holiday. We've got a great guest tonight. We have the mayor of St. Paul. No, not that one. The real mayor of St. Paul, songwriter Martin Devaney, who has a great new record out called Plaid on Plaid. He will be sharing his release show December 1st with Valet and Little Man. Doors at 7, music at 8. With that, we'll talk more about that at the Great Turf Club, University of Snelling. But before we get into the release show, I want to welcome my old friend Martin Devaney.
Hello.
Martin, this is a great record.
Thanks.
I really enjoyed it. It's kind of your Telecaster record. It's your rock and roll record.
Yeah, it's first rock and roll record in a while.
Yeah. And you've done how many records over the years?
7 total records, 1 EP, and a Crossing Guards record, which is my other band.
Oh, cool.
From time to time. But yeah, this is the 7th full length.
And it's called Plaid on Plaid, a little nod to Blonde on Blonde, I imagine.
Yeah, a little cheeky nod, and, pretty much how I'll be dressed during the colder months. So.
I hear you. That's the way I rock and roll, too. Martin, when did you get the nickname, the Mayor of St. Paul?
I never had a nickname my whole life, and it's about maybe 10 years ago or so, it came up in a local magazine article, and people ran with it.
Yeah.
And I didn't stop them.
Well, and it's ironic now in retrospect because you actually went to high school with Melvin Carter, who is the mayor of St. Paul.
Yeah, Melvin was 1 year above me. And it's also funny because Chris Coleman, who was the mayor for a long time, was an old family friend.
So I've got good friend of mine, too.
Yeah, so connections to both of them. So I have my unofficial status approved by them both.
That's a beautiful thing. Well, St. Paul is really starting to come around again.
Yeah.
I remember when I started playing in St. Paul in the early 80s, man, that they would roll up the streets at 5 o'clock.
Right.
There was a couple of joints to play, but Ryan's Corner was one. The Buttery was kind of when Cats and Stuff was doing.
I remember that place.
Yeah. And then we did open up at the Oz for the Chippendale Dancers once. I'll tell you that story when we go to a bar and start drinking heavily. Martin Devaney, where are you from originally? St. Paul?
Yeah, I'm St. Paul, born and raised.
Okay, what did your mom and dad do?
My mom worked largely for an electrical company, and my dad was a painter, largely for most of his time with the St. Paul Public Schools.
Okay.
Yep.
So when did you start playing music?
I was about 5, 6 years old.
Okay.
I started playing violin. And
20 years ago.
Oh, a little more than that. We'll go with it, though.
Okay.
And I played, clarinet in school band, which then morphed into saxophone, got more into jazz stuff, played jazz in high school, and then the band High Respect started, and I played in the horn section, me and a trombone player in that. And I didn't play guitar till the fall after I graduated high school.
So what year was that?
98.
Okay.
I was at the U, living right near Dinkytown.
There you go.
And digging into my Bob Dylan stuff.
Yeah.
That's when I picked up guitar for the first time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, what I love about this record, Martin, it's really well produced. And I had a gig. Yeah, I had a gig on Saturday night in Stillwater, and I was driving back home to Northeast Minneapolis at about 11 o'clock at night, and so I put it in for the first time, and I'm going, man, those drums sound amazing. And then when I got back home the next morning and was reading the sheet that came along with the record that you sent me, recorded by David Russ, great engineer, great drummer.
Yeah.
Did he play drums on most of this?
No, he didn't play on it at all.
Really?
It's Ryan Oddie is our regular drummer. But I knew with it being more of a rock and roll record, that drum sounds were going to be really important. And who better to get them
Right.
than a guy like Dave? And he and I have talked casually about working together for years. So this one made sense.
And Dave, of course, always plays drums with the Last Waltz tribute at the Caboose, which is a great show, playing all the great hits from the movie The Last Waltz with local celebrities and musicians, led by the great Robert Hillstrom. It's usually first or second week of January at the Caboose. Yeah. I'm sure that's coming up. Now I see a lot of other great names on this record. Plaid on Plaid by my guest Martin Devaney, mixed by the great Tom Garneau.
Yeah.
Tom has worked with everybody in town, but spent a lot of time at Paisley Park working with Prince.
Yeah.
And then, of course, another dog guy like you, me, Martin, Tom Herbers.
Yeah.
What's his dog's name?
What is it?
He brings him into the studio.
Harley, I think.
Yeah, what a great dog.
Yeah.
So this record by Martin Devaney, it's got 10 songs. Did you write them all yourself? Do you have any co-writers?
I did. I wrote all the tunes. One of the songs, though, kind of came from a group inspiration. About 3 years ago up at Lutzen, I'd played the Mad Ripple Hootenanny with Jim Walsh and some other folks.
The Last Walsh.
And me and Jim and his brother Terry and Doug Collins, another great songwriter.
Yeah, I know Doug.
Kind of kicking around ideas one night after the show and having a good time, and kind of got on this idea of let me tell you about my girl.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all kind of throwing ideas around or whatever. And a couple years later, or maybe within a year there, Doug had a version of it and he played it out. And then some more time went by, and I wrote my version of it, and that's the one that's on the record here.
So who gets the final songwriting credits?
Well,
you recorded it first. It's yours.
Yeah, but I have to tip a cap to those guys for being part of the genesis of the tune. I wrote that version of it. So
we met. I can't even actually remember exactly when we met. I think we've been aware of each other for a long time, but we shared a stage with the Blood on the Tracks reunion at the Pantages. Right. Was that 2005?
I think 4.
4? Okay.
Pretty sure.
And you did Lily Rosemary and the Jack of Hearts. How many verses did you have to memorize for that?
I think it's 14, isn't it?
Wow.
If I'm not mistaken, it's about 11 minutes long.
And we were talking before we started to record the show tonight with Martin Devaney that this thing's gotten 40,000 views on YouTube.
Yeah, Kevin Odegaard posted the video a couple of years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I don't know if this has changed since, but at the time there was no copy of the original version available on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And so that got the peanut gallery going. Some people liked it, some people didn't.
Right.
But in the end, I was 24 years old playing the song with the band that recorded it, and in front of 1,000 people trying to remember all the words, and I think I pulled it off.
Yeah, right. No doubt. I remember opening that show, and then being able to just watch the whole show after that unfold. Like you were saying earlier before we entered the studio, yeah, it's too bad we didn't get a lot of that footage on, the rehearsals and the sound checks, because we were joined that night by Eric Weisberg, who played on the first version of Blood on the Tracks in New York City in September of 1974. And what a wealth of knowledge, what a kid. You were telling me you hung out with him, and he was telling the stories growing up in Washington Square Park.
Yeah, he was saying that as a little boy, there'd be these Saturday morning house concerts, and it's Woody Guthrie, Leadbelly, and Pete Seeger playing to the neighborhood kids. That's hard to wrap your head around that.
That is my kind of neighborhood.
Yeah.
We've got Martin Devaney on the Wall of Power Radio Hour all night tonight. We're going to be listening to several tracks from his great new CD, Plaid on Plaid. His release show is December 1st at the Turf Club with Valet and Little Man. We're going to listen to the song we were just talking about My Girl by Martin Devaney.
Face from afar, across that neighborhood northeast bar. Never expected these stars. Let me tell you about my girl. Let me tell you about my girl. See her week to week. And I could not find words to speak. She made my mind and these weeks. Let me tell you about my girl. Let me tell you about my girl.
The number one source of the Twin Cities gay scene is all digital. Follow Twin Cities Gay Scene on Facebook and Twitter. Sign up for the Scene Shot email blast for weekly updates and chances to win great prizes. No app is needed to view the bi-weekly web editions of Scene. It's GLBTQ media for the mobile generation. Find it all at TwinCitiesGayScene.com. That's TwinCitiesGayScene.com.
This is New Beginnings, hosted by award-winning broadcaster and speaker Freddie Bell.
Freddie, this generation of the baby boomers, people are living longer, so the baby boomers are taking care of elderly parents.
Let's talk about your health, and specifically, let's talk about Medicare. Our show features the concerns of America's 78 million baby boomers in employment, finance, health and nutrition, and even entertainment.
Catch New Beginnings with Freddie Bell, Saturdays at 11 on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
It's just a few weeks before winter officially settles in. Is your home ready for the holidays? Now is the perfect time to get your entire home zero-resified by the cleaning heroes at Zero Res. Get 3 rooms cleaned starting at just $149. You can also get $50 off your air duct cleaning when you call 952-ZERO-RES, 952-ZERO-RES, or book online anytime at ZeroResMN.com. Zero Res. Spell it backward or forward, it spells the same.
Brending Electrolysis on Grand Avenue in St. Paul has been a leader in permanent hair removal for people of all skin types and backgrounds for over 30 years, celebrating diversity and priding themselves on finding the right treatment plan for each client's individual needs, regardless of race or gender. Services include electrolysis, body waxing, facials, microneedling, and permanent makeup. Book your 60-minute complimentary consultation, including a 15-minute treatment today for beautiful, lasting results. Visit BrendingElectrolysis.com.
This is Chad, owner of AM 950, here to tell you about Snap Construction. They're experts in roofing, siding, window, and insurance restoration. They have energy-efficient products available for both residential and commercial properties. This spring, when we needed a company to take a look at a problem with our roof, I called the company I knew I could trust, Snap Construction. I've known Ryan, the owner at Snap Construction, for years, so I knew I could trust him. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their reviews online. They are arguably the most well-reviewed exterior contractor online in the metro area. Over the years, Ryan has always said the same thing to me about his work. If we build it, shouldn't we be held accountable for the work indefinitely? He backed that statement up years ago when Snap Construction was a pioneer in offering a lifetime craftsmanship guarantee on all their work. For a free estimate or general questions, call the locally owned company AM 950 Trust, Snap Construction at 612-333-SNAP. That's 612-333-SNAP, or find them online at snapconstruction.com. They have financing options available.
Welcome back to the Wall and Power Radio Hour. I'm your host, Paul Metza. Hope you're enjoying Thanksgiving. wherever you are and whoever you're with. I have my friend, great songwriter from St. Paul. In fact, they call him the mayor of St. Paul, Martin Devaney, with me, talking about and playing tracks of his new record, Plaid on Plaid. Martin, this has been 5 years since your last record.
Yeah.
So what have you been doing in the meantime?
Well, I still was playing a lot of shows.
Okay.
And got a lot of things started and shelved them. You've been writing all along, but just kind of got a little sidetracked there for a while, and then I got married. And
what year was that?
Last year, so about a year and a half ago. And so that was a change in my life, and a lot of these tunes kind of came together over time, and a lot of it too was I dug through a lot of old notebooks and dredged up some old ideas and put them together with new ones. And
what's your wife's favorite song in the record? It's got to be About My Girl.
It probably is, but there's a couple. There's a few on there she likes quite a bit.
Isn't there a few? There are kind of a couple of heartbreak songs on there too.
Yeah, well, there's a transition time over those 5 years from different stage of life, and kind of going through things and documenting them, and
right.
Like I've been saying, there's kind of a narrative there if you want to find it. There's a transition. But all the while I was writing and recording, and I did put out a few months ago, though, a 7-inch of 5 short acoustic songs, which I should still get you a copy of.
Yeah.
That were just kind of from the demos I'd been making over the last couple of years. Some that never got used, some that ended up on the record. Then I had these other little short tunes. I put those out. And, somehow 5 years went by. I've had gaps before between records, but I could chalk that up to co-running a label at the time, which we did for about 8 years.
Yeah, tell us about the label.
Yeah, it's called Eclectone. Had it from about 2002 to 2010, and we helped put out quite a few great local releases.
Like who?
Big Ditch Road, Little Man, Missing Numbers, which was an offshoot of Bellwether. We did 2 of the Jim Walsh Mad Ripple records, a couple Dan Israel records, Joanna James, 6 Mile Grove, and on from there. So during that time, I had an excuse, and I don't have a good excuse for why this took 5 years.
Right.
But here we are.
Time flies.
I didn't rush anything out. I'd hate to repeat myself and make the same record over and over again, so I was careful not to do that. And
well, even though, a lot of these musicians that played on your record and helped mix and master and record it gave you good deals, you still got to pay them something.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, if you're going to do 10 tunes, it's going to take more than just getting the change in your couch together to finance the project.
Yeah, I don't currently have a label other than my vanity self-label Pig's Eye Records.
Right.
And it's another situation where we started recording this almost exactly a year ago, and the sessions came together quickly. We recorded it very quickly, but then there's time between when we could get in the studio, mixing sessions, and being able to pay for that.
Right.
And again, I had thought about maybe shopping the record, however you do that in 2018.
Right.
It's a different world every couple of years. And I'd given that some thought, but then it'd be even longer till it would actually come out. And I felt like I needed to get it out before the end of this year.
Well, I've had 3 really marginal record deals over the years. And I've been putting out music on my own label since Cats and the Stars. We did Monkey Business Records. Our motto was Monkey Business is our only business. We did a reggae version of Louie Louie, which confused Robert Christgau at the Village Voice. But what I tell people is the business is so tough. I said, I'm the president of my own record label. I'm the only artist on my label, and I rejected my last record.
I know that territory. I've been trying to break up with myself for years.
Exactly. We've got Martin Devaney on. We're going to listen to some more of his great new record, Plaid on Plaid. You know what I loved, Martin, and I've heard your music before. I really love you. Really have a way with phrases. There's one that jumped out at me the other night was Hoarding Your Moonlight from one of your tunes. And then you have a lot of great... it feels like part of this record was written at Grumpy's because you have some great Northeast bar band references, bar references. There's a great line in one of the tunes about the red vinyl booth, which brought me back to the Sinatra booth at Nye's. But I mean, when you walk into a cool old bar and there's a red vinyl booth there, you want to hang out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I met my wife at Nye's during Belfast Cowboys St. Dominic's Trio show.
Well, there you go.
Election night 2012. We didn't get to know each other for another couple of years, but that's kind of the beginning of that song, about my girl. And the area that we live in, St. Paul, is very much like Northeast, where there's a little church and a little neighborhood bar every other block.
Right.
And so those are my haunts. Like, you know, Grumpy's being one of my favorite bars of all time.
Yes.
I've got versions of it in my neighborhood that are just a little bit closer for me.
But none of them have as cool of an owner as Pat Dwyer.
Hard to argue that.
You know, he's the actual mayor of Northeast. Although I came in second at the Grumpy's Mr. Northeast pageant, it was fixed, I swear to God, and I would have been mad if it wasn't. Anyway, the guy that won had been trying it for years, so God bless him. I'm just being a little bit facetious. But the beautiful thing about those communities, there's small towns in a big town.
Yeah.
And you can really have that kind of the safety of your neighbors in a way. And occasionally, I'm not mentioning any names here, but if a guy wants to stumble home from the bar, he's going to get home safe and sound.
That's right.
We've got Martin Devaney, songwriter, the mayor of St. Paul, with us tonight. We're going to listen to a tune of his from his new record, Plaid on Plaid, called One Condition, and we'll be back with the whole show with Mr. Devaney.
You can stay on one condition. You could say I'm on a mission. Should I pray for your permission to let go? Drinking to avoid the deep end. Unemployed till the weekend. A paranoid existence we call home. Get a little lazy. You got bored and I went crazy. A life lived underwhelmed and overblown. You can stay on one condition. You could say I'm on a mission. Should I pray for your permission to let go? If I'm happy or resentful, every damn thing's so eventful. I'll be careful to consent to let you know. It's not as if we knew we had no idea this would be a bad blow. At least you don't have to live in my shadow anymore.
Expedition Journal entry number 8. I continue my voyage deep into Big Buy Electronics in search of a digital camera. Near some air conditioners, I encounter a fellow explorer who points to the eastern horizon. He's heard rumors that cameras are found there. I can't help but think how much easier things would be at National Camera. The expert service, the low price guarantee, Wait, up ahead. Could it be? Yes. No, it's just cell phones. So close, yet so far.
Now through Sunday, find doorbuster deals with National Camera's Black Friday blowout sale. Save up to $1,200 with hot holiday deals. Save $350 on a Nikon D3500 2-lens SLR kit with instant Bluetooth phone connectivity. Or save $400 on a Sony A6000 2-lens mirrorless kit. Hurry in and save at National Camera Exchange.
Northeast Minneapolis is known for its creativity, and you'll know exactly why when you eat at Hazel's Northeast. Their creatively prepared comfort food will have you coming back week after week. Breakfasts like biscuits and gravy, granola pancakes, and brisket hash. For lunch, homemade soup and one of the best Reubens in town. And don't miss the daily risotto or Chef Ali's ever-changing dinner specials. Come on in. Bring the whole family. Hazel's Northeast delivers real good food. Family owned at 29th and Johnson in Minneapolis.
I'm Steve Conklin.
And I'm Jake DeRoff.
We're the hosts of the Mortgage Talk Show, Sundays at 12:30.
Steve, what are we going to talk about this week?
This week we talk about why Fannie Mae is issuing 2019 housing challenges, what high mortgage rates mean to the market, and how Gen Z is buying homes and why they're buying homes.
Check us out for more information and email us any questions at mortgagetalkshow.com.
Tune into the Mortgage Talk Show every Sunday at 12:30 on AM 950.
Be sure to pick up your copy of this month's Natural Awakenings magazine, a free local guide to a healthier and more balanced life. Each monthly issue includes timely, local, national, and global stories. Learn about alternative and complementary medicine, nutrition, fitness for body and mind, personal growth, sustainability, and much more. Natural Awakenings can be found at area health food stores, food co-ops, and retail locations. More information is available at naturaltwincities.com. That's naturaltwincities.com.
Turn to Auto Technical with your vehicle donation. We have families waiting for a car. You know, over 85% of unemployed are successful in finding and keeping a job if they have dependable transportation. A car plus a job equals a life changed. 612-919-5526. We have families waiting for a car. 919-5526 or autotech.org.
With your AM 950 weather, this is Eric Nelson. Tonight will be cloudy with a low around 24. Sunday, mostly cloudy with a high near 27. And Sunday night, mostly cloudy with a low around 13. Monday will be sunny with a high of 21 and a low around 9. AM 950 is brought to you by Eat Local Minnesota. Break away from the usual and find a list of one-of-a-kind local restaurants at eatlocalminnesota.com. From elegant to casual, exotic to comfort food, they've got everything and more. Find the full list of incredible nearby restaurants at eatlocalminnesota.com.
The formula was right, letting you down, but torturous inside to our little town. I hoarded the moonlight, snuck a secret rhyme, then I wouldn't be found. But I won't sing the same old song.
Welcome back to the Wall of Power Radio Hour. This is your host, Paul Metz. We just heard a great tune called Holding Pattern by my guest, Martin Devaney, from his new record, Plaid on Plaid. Tell us about the tune Holding Pattern, Martin.
You know, kind of as we were talking about the neighborhoods of Northeast and the West 7th neighborhood of St. Paul, I started writing that, I don't know, maybe close to 2 years ago. In the fall, kind of walking around the neighborhood with my dog and up to the corner bar.
Did they let you take the dog in the corner?
No, that part was not with him, unfortunately. Maybe out on the patio. But I'd gotten this cadence in my head or whatever, and got home and just started coming out and kind of working through like the inexact rhymes, you know, the kind of, it's not a literal rhyme, but it's close. The sounds are the same. So I was writing kind of based on the sounds of the words with this idea of, you know, like acknowledging the fact that you're going to let somebody down again.
Right.
You know, you've done it before. It's going to happen again. But you want to make it up to them and kind of what I've been going back to is the idea of like, I'm going to screw up, but I'm not a screw up.
Right.
And I, want to make it through that with you, kind of take, so that one came pretty quick.
So how did, what was your method, Martin Devaney, when you'd go into the studio? Did you give the musicians any tapes ahead of time of the tunes, or was it kind of organic of the moment in the studio?
Little of both. The guys got some acoustic demos for a few of the tunes, and we actually have been playing a good handful of the songs live for over a year. I initially was going to start another group, not under my name, to kind of get away from myself.
Right.
And ultimately, you find out quickly how hard it is to organize 5 guys in their mid-30s.
Right.
Most of whom are married and or have kids.
Right.
And are all in other bands.
Right.
We're not going to be a group.
Right. So you take in all those different variables, and then there's only, back when I was coming of age, there was music 7 nights a week all over town.
Right.
Especially in Minneapolis. So now there's less places to play, less nights to play them. So then you have to figure in all those variables in your band and the families and everything else into that. So it's the circle gets smaller.
Right.
The box gets tinier.
And as you know, I've got to be able to go out and play these songs by myself too.
Yeah.
Not all of them are going to translate in this case, but in the end, I've got to answer for it.
Right.
So that's kind of how that came to be. And, everybody I'm playing with has made plenty of records and have been in plenty of bands, so it really wasn't hard getting them on board, and the process was actually among the easiest I've ever had.
So your release show on December 1st at the Turf Club with Valet and Little Man.
Yeah.
Doors at 7, music at 8. Who's going to be in that band with Martin Devaney then?
Everyone that played on the record, except for on the record we had 2 kind of 3 bass players, all great guys. Sean McPherson, amazing, of course, old friend, and Tony Zaccardi as well. They won't be playing the show. Jacques Waite is actually going to be playing bass at the show, but everyone else are the guys from the record.
So name them.
So we got Ryan Oddie on drums, Ryan Plawacki on lead guitar, Adam Lamro on keyboards, and myself and Jacques.
I love the Turf Club. I hope what happened to University Avenue, and I understand why you have to have mass transit, I hope that never happens on West 7th.
I'm not for it either.
Yeah.
And it's been talked about.
Because you go to the Turf Club, not unlike going to Bunkers in Minneapolis, it's hard to find a parking place.
Right.
I know there's some parking behind the bar.
Lucky that the Turf does have a small lot. That's good.
Yeah, they have a small lot, but nothing left on University.
Right. And, I like West 7th the way it is. So,
yeah. Me too. So our friends at First Avenue are running the Turf Club. And, of course, our good buddy Nathan Krantz, who helped me put on the $1 Million Bash with the reunited the Blood on the Tracks Boys with 40 other bands in 2001. I think it was May 23rd, or was it actually Dylan's birthday on the 24th? Anyway, they're running the Turf Club now. I hope they haven't cleaned it up too much, because I always used to tell people when I go to the Turf Club over the years, I said, if Jack Ruby owned a club in the Twin Cities, it'd be the Turf Club.
Mm-hmm. They've done a great job with it. It's not open as a neighborhood bar anymore, so you're not going in there in the afternoon. But they did essentially save it.
Okay.
It was going well, but I think it needed some structural upgrades for sure. The bathrooms aren't scary.
Yeah, right.
Which I'm sure people appreciate. But the everything's intact. The spirit of the Turf Club is there.
Good.
And the spirits of the Turf Club are there.
Right.
Everyone who's ever haunted it, that still exists there. And though it is more of a venue than a local bar, we're happy to have it be still my favorite option for a place to play,
Speaking of local bars, I went and my good friend Mary Cutrofello lives in your neighborhood.
Yes.
Do you ever bump into her?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she lent me this baritone guitar. I might actually play it at my gig this Friday night, opening up for the Crash Test Dummies at the Fitzgerald. But she really loves the neighborhood. You can, and you know, Willie Walker's over there too now.
Okay.
A little off West, a little closer to the airport.
Okay.
So, where when I call you guys up some Saturday afternoon, are we going to meet for hot toddies at which local bar? What's your favorite?
Where we bump into each other most is probably Skinner's.
Okay.
On Randolph, but just one block down is the Spot, which is my dad's bar for the last 35 years.
Really?
And good home to real St. Paul Irishmen.
Yeah.
So I see Mary around there. We live really close, actually, to each other. And we've both played the patio at Skinner's during the summers. So those are kind of the two, like, my two walking distance bars.
So Skinner's, I'm trying to think. So what is that, right on West 7th in Randolph?
It's on Randolph, just west of West 7th. So if you know Rooster's, the barbecue joint.
Yeah.
It's one block down from that toward West 7th, and then the Spot's one block from there.
That Rooster's is an incredible barbecue joint.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I was there, well, because I had to get my a car problem that you turned me on to.
Oh, right.
I think it's St. Paul Automotive, so I ended up there.
Across the street from Skinner's.
Yeah, so I went there and I got some Q, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Let me ask you, as long as we're talking West St. Paul, where's the good little go-to family joint restaurant I don't know about?
Well, a lot of the places, as you can imagine, are pretty family-friendly. Like, there's the Bay Street Grill, which is a little further down Randolph there, and Bennett's Steakhouse.
Oh, I love. Well, he's an Iron Ranger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Joe Bennett is from Mountain Iron.
Oh, okay.
And he's related to some old family friends of the Metza family, the Paglacetti. So I've actually had a couple of great steak dinners. A great martini.
Yep.
You can get a great martini and a can of hams.
Right. Yeah. it does. They kind of meet the nice, Mancini's type situation with the neighborhood bar.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah. And what is Scott Schuler's new place over there?
So he's involved in the Keg and Case building, which is an open marketplace with about 20 different businesses in there. And you've got, some food joints, cheese stand, a meat stand,
right,
ice cream place, coffee shop.
Cool.
It's cool.
Is that by the Schmidt Brewery?
It's on the ground. So it's the old keg house.
Okay.
That was vacant forever, even after they turned it into the artist lofts. That building was vacant for a long time, so they've turned it into a little marketplace.
Well, you've got to give. I still am good friends with Norm Coleman. I played Norm when he became the mayor of St. Paul. I played his inaugural, and then I knew Chris Coleman, and I haven't met Melvin Carter yet. I'd love to, but you really got to give St. Paul credit for what it's become. Mm-hmm. Because these things didn't start overnight. These ideas started 20 or 30 years ago.
Right.
And now it's really becoming the capital city once again. Plus, it's got that great history of crime.
Yeah, hide all the gangsters from Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Come out there to cool their heels.
Exactly. We've got Martin Devaney, my good buddy. He's been on the show all night tonight talking about his great record called Plaid on Plaid. The release show is December 1st at the Turf Club. Doors at 7, music at 8. He'll be playing with Valet and Little Man. We're going to go out on this segment of the Wall of Power Radio Hour with a rockin' good tune. Marty wrote and played on called Let Your Hair Down. Play it loud. We'll be back for one more segment.
number one source of the Twin Cities gay scene is all digital. Follow Twin Cities Gay Scene on Facebook and Twitter. Sign up for the Scene Shot email blast for weekly updates and chances to win great prizes. No app is needed to view the bi-weekly web editions of Scene. It's GLBTQ media for the mobile generation. Find it all at TwinCitiesGayScene.com. That's TwinCitiesGayScene.com.
November is Govember at Rudy Luther Toyota. With the end of 2018, it's time to get yourself an amazing gift, a new vehicle from Rudy Luther. Through November, get a $3,000 rebate on the Toyota Tundra pickup or $3,500 on my personal favorite, the family-friendly Sienna. Plus, check out the great selection of 2018 Tacoma pickups in stock. And the best part of Rudy Luther is the long-term relationship you'll have with their wonderful people. November is Govember at Rudy Luther Toyota, the southeast corner of 394 and 169 in Golden Valley.
I'm Connie Burek, co-host of Awakened Living Infusion radio show. Join Michelle Kitzmiller and I as we focus on all aspects of health, wellness, spirituality, and growth from a mind, body, spirit, emotion perspective. On the Awakened Living radio show, we will discuss stress, self-care, fear, happiness, beliefs, communication, joy, pain, trauma, and more. Join us for the Awakened Living Infusion radio show Saturdays at 10 a.m. Let us share with you ways to infuse vitality into life.
There are lots of ways to stay comfortable in the Minnesota winter. Hot cocoa, warm socks, and Standard's Winter Comfort Sale, where you can save up to $2,090 on a brand new 96% energy efficient furnace. There's also great deals on a variety of other furnaces and boilers. Don't wait. Unlike winter, these deals end November 30th. Learn more about Standard's Winter Comfort Sale at standardheatingdeals.com/radio. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, comfort you deserve.
Visit the wine bar at Cafe Latte and enjoy a unique handcrafted pizza and glass of wine. The perfect place for an intimate night or an evening with friends. Choices range from spicy Italian sausage and sweet roasted peppers to the one-of-a-kind nacho chicken pizza layered with blue corn tortilla chips. The approachable wine list offers over 30 by the glass with special emphasis on wines from Washington State. End your night with one of Cafe Latte's melt-in-your-mouth desserts. 850 Grand Avenue, St. Paul.
Hi, I'm Dr. Scott Shamblat from Shamblat Family Dentistry. We're the fear-free, get-you-out-of-pain-now dental office.
And I'm Rachel Shamblat. Did you know a lot of people are afraid of the dentist? You don't need to be afraid of my dad. He makes going to the dentist comfortable and even fun.
We don't care if you're a dental regular or haven't seen a dentist in years. We just want to make you comfortable and get you out of pain.
If you don't see my dad, please see another dentist. Take care of your teeth because they're the only ones you get. Call 1-800-FIX-MY-TEETH or visit fixmyteeth.us.
Would you make a change if you had the chance? Would you take the reins of your circumstance? Would you second guess the drive to make the drive? Would you waste the best years of all our lives? I know you've not forgotten where you're from.
Welcome back to the Wall of Power Radio Hour. This is your host, Paul Metza. My guest for the whole night tonight, songwriter and the mayor of St. Paul unofficially, Mr. Martin Devaney. We just heard a great tune coming into this segment called When You Were Young. How'd you write that one, Marty?
That one it's one of the older ones of the songs that are on this record. I remember that kind of came out of a night, some of my friends in High Respects had a rehearsal space on University Avenue near the turf with a window that looked out onto Midway Shopping Center, and which has now largely been demolished for the soccer stadium. But at the time, we would rehearse there quite a bit, and we're lucky to have a window at a practice space. That rarely happens.
Right.
And sometime thereafter, I just was kind of bouncing around all these verses of this idea that, like, we're all getting a little bit older, but still trying to be creative and how does that work? And I had written 20 more verses than are in the song that I had to pare down. But just the idea of is this where we thought we'd end up?
Right.
We all definitely had our goals coming up as young guys playing music together, and we've had our successes and failures to different extents, and is this where we thought we'd be? And of course it's not. It never is. It never is.
Hey, we were supposed to be rich and famous.
Yeah, or whatever. So if not that, maybe just something different. And so just kind of taking a look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about, when I was listening to my guest Martin Devaney's new record, Plaid on Plaid, I heard, I could feel a little bit of Elvis Costello.
Sure.
I could feel a little bit of Tom Petty.
Definitely.
And the lyrical twist of Minnesota's own Bob Dylan.
The one tune on there, One Condition, very much the Elvis Costello thing.
Yeah.
I had that bridge for years, and I had to write a tune to the bridge.
And then you had that little Steve Niev part from the Attractions.
That's all Adam. He hit that. He knew exactly what to hit for that keyboard part. So, and yeah, I mean, we were getting this record underway only a month or two after Tom Petty passed.
Yeah.
And that sound is there. I mean, his sound is with us for this one.
Yeah.
On several of the tunes.
Now, when you're not writing songs and hanging out with your lovely wife and your cool dog, who I follow you on Facebook, what music do you go out and hear?
All kinds of stuff. I try to keep my ear to the ground and make sure I'm trying to seek out new stuff. I mean, it's always going to see old friends play, that's a given, but really try to keep up with people's new projects, and like you said, there's not as much music every night as there maybe once was, but aside from going out to see the bigger shows, I really do try to catch as many local acts that are upcoming and catch my ear. And
are you reading any good books lately?
I'm finishing up a Dylan book that I bought in Ireland a month ago, and I just got back into reading Raymond Carver again.
Okay.
One of my all-time favorite writers. Mm-hmm. I haven't just happened to pick up a book of his stories the other day and kind of dig back into that. And I've got the Robert Pollard from Guided by Voices biography.
Okay.
Coming up on my list soon. So.
What? How about any good movies?
I haven't seen anything new lately. I haven't seen A Star Is Born yet.
Right.
I need to go check that version out. I heard it was good.
You know what I missed? Because I just had this October, got really busy. But the movie Blaze, about Blaze Foley.
I missed it too.
And I just called them last weekend. I finally had a Saturday afternoon open. I called the Uptown Theater, Landmark Theater, and they said, no, nobody came out to see it. I go, well, damn, I should have called you and just reserved it for me and my buddies, my songwriting buddies.
I missed it too. It was only in the theaters for a week.
Yeah.
And I fully meant to go see that, and I missed it. So I will seek it out, however, whatever services might have it, or however we have to do it. And then that new Coen Brothers thing sounds really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
So I got to check that out, too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what do you get? So you were in Ireland. Did you and the wife go?
Yeah, actually, we went and met my folks and her folks over there.
Oh, how sweet is that?
Yeah, it's great. My dad's from Galway.
Okay.
And so since my folks have been retired, they get over there every couple of years. I hadn't been for 20. It's been since 1998. And so we traveled around a bit, but we spent a lot of time in Galway, and he was able to play tour guide. And
nice.
It was great to spend time with the whole family over there.
Did you get a chance to play in any of the pubs?
I went to an open mic in Galway at this great place where many people have played. Charlie Parts played there, and a lot of different people that we both know well. And I got there just too late to get in. So I was there and I signed up, and they got through about 21 people, and I was like number 24. So.
Oh, okay.
But it was great to be a part of their community, and I was able to give them some music and talk to them. And
yeah,
next time.
Now, what's your dog's name again?
Cooley.
Cooley.
Yeah.
Cool dog, Cooley. I've really enjoyed chatting with my friend Martin Devaney tonight. Go out and get his new record, and it's actually a record. He's got vinyl copies. I'm guessing they got him at the Electric Fetus.
They will soon, yeah. Probably next week. They'll be out the week of the show.
What's your website?
MartinDevaney.com.
All right. Well, I wish you all the best with the release show. That is December 1st at the Turf Club with Valet and Little Man. I wish you a lot of luck on the record. I know The Current has been playing it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's nice to get a little love from them. But you got a whole hour of love here on the Wall of Power Radio Hour because Paul Metza loves his songwriting buddies. So anyway, by the time this airs, you will have enjoyed your Thanksgiving. But thanks for your time today, Martin. Martin Devaney, his new record, Plaid on Plaid. Get to the release show. Thanks, brother.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thanks for listening to the Wall of Power Radio Hour. This show is produced by Paul Metza, engineered by Brett Johnson in the basement of the AM 950 studio in Eden Prairie, which is neither Eden nor a prairie. We would like to thank our guest, Martin Devaney. Follow me at paulmetza.com Thursday nights at 5 o'clock at Shaw's Bar in Northeast Minneapolis. Wednesday night at the Green Lantern in St. Paul, right across from Ayers Park. Hope you enjoyed Thanksgiving weekend. And like my dad used to tell me, remember to be kind and make someone happy.